Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. Whew. What a day. What a day. Kimberly's dad passed away yesterday afternoon, so I may be maybe less regular for the next few days. Just let you know. Doing what we can. So, but CPI came out and things are moving, and you know what? You guys are part of my family, so that's why I do this. Try to help everybody out, and so let's talk about it. So, swapping it over here. Of course, all trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance not necessarily indicative of future results. I may be full of crap and not get this right again. This presentation here is intended to be informational, educational, and fun. It is not a recommendation to buy or sell any financial instrument. You desire that personal financial advice, hire and consult a financial advisor who has a fiduciary duty to take care of you. Got to take care of it, keep your personal situation in mind. All right. Moving on. We had the month-over-month CPI coming in as expected. Expected 0.4. We got 0.4. I mean, hey, we got what we expected month-over-month. Year-over-year, we came down 0.1%. As we kind of talked about the past couple days, these numbers are probably cooked. We got to make everything look great. So, I'm not so sure. We won't revise these higher later. So just keep in mind, be cautious. We are, coming off the peak, coming back down. It's a long way down to 2% target, but it does keep coming back, and that makes Jerome Powell the inflation fighter, right? He fixed it. He saved the world. Being sarcastic. Anyway, core CPI actually came in hot. We expected a 0.3, got a 0.4, which was what the previous forecast was. So just coming in line. I mean, that's still rising inflation. That's still a 0.4% rising inflation month over month. That's not a flat number. I mean, that's not zero. That's not no inflation. So I don't know. That's still rising prices. 5% still rising prices. So I don't know. If my phone goes off, I'm sorry. I don't have headphones on, and I'm kind of keeping up with what's happening with the family. So apologize in advance if we get notifications here. Anyway, crude oil inventories coming at 10:30, and we got 10-year bond auction, a few other things, Fed balance, and then tomorrow we get PPI. This can be another market mover. And while we're talking about market movers, let's go ahead and pull over the other chart and talk about this, like where we're going. So on Monday evening, I did a market update, and we were right in here. I thought we might see a higher high and then a pullback and then a pop off when we got the CPI number. So far, this is like textbook classic bullish pattern. We have some upside targets. Probably going to go retest that 13,700 area at the minimum. These are not where these numbers are up here are not the targets. The big oval is kind of the target area. We may just come up to the bottom of it and turn down. Now, we could do that today. We could pop up there today, and then on PPI tomorrow, get a big down. So please be careful. Please keep it in mind. If we go big up today, we're probably going to get a fairly nice retrace tomorrow, and that could lead us for another pop, but it doesn't have to. We can, stay tuned in Discord for updates the best I can give it. All right. So moving on, S&P 500 still consolidating. We're not really breaking out yet. I do expect us to go up to 4,300 and do a test right there where the pinkish purplish line is, right in there. Do expect kind of a pop up there, a retrace before we maybe come up and test 4,500. So these are all like kind of so far so good. Keeps on sticking to my path. So we will see what happens. Yeah, thanks, Lee. Hey, Patrick, Goose, Pat, Valerie, Al. Morning, everybody. Kimberly obviously won't be here this morning. So keep everybody in your prayers. Got to deal with it. Anyway, S&P 500, as I said, just kind of consolidating in the box. This is a daily. We were just looking at 3-day that I pulled off the screen. Need to minimize it so I can see the chat. And this is the daily. So we got a little bit of volatility, and that can lead us to a breakout higher. S5FI was just consolidating yesterday, still on the roadmap line. I still expect the pop, and that can be rather quickly. So watch for the reaction back down if we do get a pop up there near the 80 line on S5FI. Looking at the futures pre-market here, probably going to gun for at least the top of the range again, if not a breakout to that 4,300 area. Nice strong candle leading us off here. Why was I using NQ, which is NASDAQ futures, instead of ES? Well, the pattern is much more clear on NQ right now. Hey, Kevin, thanks. So I just want a thing I said in Discord recently. Maybe it was yesterday. That time's been a blur here. I'm out here looking for the most clear potential patterns, or the patterns I see. I'm looking for those patterns, and looking for the most clear bullish potential or tradable potential out there. So I search around and try to find the best chart that I can predict the move off of, not necessarily try to jam in like ES is unclear, so I'm not putting a bunch of trades on it. NQ was really clear, and it was clear a few days back, so I jumped on to SQQQ puts, and you may have heard me talk about that, and I'm looking for that higher move right up here to retest the resistance. I mean, it was very clear to me that we set this up a few days back. I'm still expecting it to pop right up there and test that area. Now, in NQ futures, you might be like, what is that? That's NASDAQ 100. QQQ, that's the ETF that you may be familiar with. ES, you may not have heard of ES. Well, that's S&P 500 futures. That's SPY. So if you're unfamiliar with futures and where this stuff comes from, on the morning news before the market opens, they talk about the big ups and the big downs. They're coming off the futures numbers. So Russell here, this is a small caps, showing a nice strength. Probably going to come up and retest this resistance that we've had for a few weeks now. And really, it's getting to be a couple months now. We break out above that, we can start quickly rallying back up toward that 2,000 area. All right. Oil, maybe find a resistance, maybe not. If we break back above this high, that's kind of my first indicator. I've got an alert right there around 76. I'm actually going to pull it up just a little bit more. That may be the first indicator we go higher when we make a higher high. That was a lower high, and we went down, and we spiked down all the way here. This could be a spike reversal, but it also can roll off and go lower. Gold, just kind of churning here. I do expect a bigger retrace at some point here on gold. Bitcoin, also kind of churning a little bit on this network congestion. I talked about that the last couple of days. If you're unfamiliar, just kind of Google what's going on. They implemented some layer 2 coins that are popular. It's causing a backlog of transactions on the Bitcoin network and freaking people out a little bit. But I mean, it's just sideways consolidation before the next pop, really. We're holding the lows and potentially moving up a little bit today, which puts MSTR on the list of movers. Dollar, just consolidating at the bottom, kind of making higher lows a little bit, but holding with the lower highs. Also, this can lead to that push down into the 90s. This is not going to be fast. It could go fast, but it's probably not going to be fast. It's probably going to take us well into the late summer or fall even to get down there at this point. So what's actually moving today? Celsius, look at that. We had a big giant arrow on the chart when it broke above that high, and right up there around 128 is the target. And we're at 119 this morning pre-market. Not a big stretch to get that 128. Hopefully somebody listened to me when I put that arrow on the chart back a couple weeks ago. That is a beautiful trade right there. Beautiful, beautiful. I would watch out when we get to that 128, 129 area. It could truck on through and get to 143, but that becomes less likely. And just keep it in mind. We do have a potential to go up to 180. See this 1272 off of the bigger pullback. We could get up there, but it's likely to do a pullback in this area, after it breaks these prior highs, kind of come up here, get a pullback, extend, get a pullback, extend. Same pattern we're always looking for. Yeah. That's true, Goose. If Russell breaks out of its funk, it can be a giant squeeze in the market, so be careful. Watch out, know what you're doing. Don't try to short things. Please, please, please don't get convinced. That thing I said the other day, it's not being wrong that loses you a bunch of money. It's staying wrong. Like being convinced that you're right in the face of all the evidence that you're wrong. If you stay wrong, you can lose a bunch of money, especially if you have money on something and the market's telling you you're wrong. So I try to give you levels to know where you might be wrong. Now, MSTR, it does look like it wants to retrace and hit the roadmap line one more time. Like that's kind of a found resistance. Maybe wants to pull back one more time before it can get the next extension. But that could wrap up. I mean, this could be a higher low situation and we just pop out. So there's conflicting potential, and we are in this orange resistance box. It's a resistance box for a reason. Until we pop out of it, I kind of expect more sideways action. EXAS, that's a nice pop, really beautiful. Doesn't really perfectly fit with any pattern I watch. But on this pullback right here, resistance probably, we're pushing up through the first one. First target, extension target at 80. May find some resistance there. Above that could be, I put these fibs on here for a reason. So above that could be the 88, 93, 105. But as we go up, straight up, the likelihood that we come straight back down is highly likely. So things tend to move up on a pop and then consolidate, move up on a pop, consolidate, move up on a pop, consolidate, move up on a pop. Big consolidation. You see, the bigger the pop, the longer the consolidation. That's pretty classic in the market. So after a big pop, we can expect a pullback or a consolidation. Upstart Holdings popping up almost to the roadmap line, has a lot of resistance built up over here. I would be super cautious on chasing that higher until we get above about 26, where those sellers came in and pushed that candle right back down, and then we slammed it down and actually went, looks like we went lower low. So they lost money even though they beat on top and bottom earnings, so be careful. And we can look at Apple and SQQQ. They didn't make the morning movers list, but we can pop over and look at it briefly. I'm mostly looking for stuff moving, and we got about 6 minutes. This one, let's see, big pop. Look at that, all the way up there, right to the potential target, and the target held 877. Poking up through it just a little bit. Watch for that to hold. Above that would be 10 on CTIC. Now, biopharma, whatever, biotechs and pharma don't always hold to the patterns. So please be cognizant of that if you're chasing that one. Looks like to be profit booking, not expecting more. ALC, nice pop here. Another medical specialty thing, right up to the prior high. Breaking above that can get us up to 81, but we do have another prior high just above. Right there. That may prove to be resistance. This is a slightly lower high. Could make a slightly lower high again. So just be careful. ALB. Nice little pop, but I still expect this one to chug on down to this extension. It could come up and retest the roadmap line before it does that next extension. SYNH. Not a whole lot there. Popping up to the roadmap line. Looks like a pretty horrible, bad pattern. The reason I dismiss a lot of these is like what I said just a few minutes ago. I'm looking for the best of the best potential patterns, not trying to figure out how to trade crappy looking charts. So I'm not trying to force trades. Well, that's a ridiculous move up. Probably going to be a ridiculous move back down at some point. at least to some sort of support. Now, what do I mean? It's like, look at AI right here. Ridiculous move up and right back down, finding some resistance at the roadmap line. Can break, I mean, that can be just a retrace and we go higher again, or it can reach on down. So please be careful on that one. There's a lot of shorts. It can do a squeeze. There is a lot of resistance built up right there where that line is. We can pop right back up to that 23. But when we get big ups, we tend to get big right back downs, at least to a support area. So keep it in mind. Tesla moving a little bit, getting them back up to 172, looks like pre-market. Have to zoom this one up so we can see it. That could have been the bounce off the support here. We can break higher. We do need to get above the gap, back above about 180. Then we have the roadmap line right above us, up at the 190, 194 area. Above that, making a higher high than we had. We kind of have this downtrend cooking here, right here. So we get back above that, and then we'll probably come up and test this bigger downtrend that goes all the way back to the highs, way back over here in 2021. So Tesla's still in a downtrend, even though it can be a big move up. Please be careful. Meta coming up into the gap area. That could be the retrace that we needed. This can be the potential to break on up to this 320 area where it gapped down from all the way back here in February 2022, like a year, like 16 months ago ish, 14 months ago. Anyway, yeah. There is a psychological barrier at 200 for Tesla, so obviously it caused a bit of a downtrend here in the short term, but we also have this bigger downtrend going that anybody worth their salt can, connect a few highs and see that we're in a downtrend on Tesla. So until we can break up out of that, we're not going to see launching off type situation on Tesla. FNGU getting a nice little pop. We do have resistance right up there at 116-ish area. That's been on here several times. So I'm not expecting big up out of FNGU at this time. CRWD, CrowdStrike Holdings. We've got the resistance right above us. And I'm not super on top of getting into anything on that until we get above that resistance right there where we bottomed and kind of gapped through it and then couldn't get up into it, came down, rejected again. So that is a resistance zone that I am not going to trade into. Wouldn't be interested in trading into it. GDXU, 3X. This is a leverage thing. Sometimes leverage stuff doesn't exactly hit my targets because of the skew on the leverage. That's why I usually go to the underlying, like the GC chart. This one has potential to break out higher. This is holding a higher low, breaking out, can push it higher. We can run a little retrace here. Potential 76, maybe 83 on the upside. I don't know. I'm not convinced gold is going to make another big move up in the short term. Zscaler looks like it's still hanging out below the roadmap line. Looks like the market just opened and can retrace and go deeper. Although it hit the target, that can be a reversal, but it probably will come up here, retest the roadmap line, do a retrace. If it does a 618 retrace of that move up, that would be the potential to get in and go long for a move higher to retest some of these prior highs. ISG, looks like a sideways choppy mess. Would be careful. Not really seeing much potential there. ON, this one can break out over 82. We can see 91, 96 on the upside. And LI, also a sideways choppy mess. I would be very careful trying to chase any kind of trade on that. While it could run right back up to the highs, it's not a given at this point. All right. So bias for the day, up right now. Potentially going to retest the highs. We'll zoom this back up. Probably going to go retest these highs. If we can break out above that, we could see a quick acceleration higher to this 4,300 area. PPI tomorrow is kind of going to be the tell. We'll have to see what happens on PPI. Just be careful. Please be careful. All right. NQ has a stronger looking pattern for a move up. And I'm getting all sorts of alerts. Things are moving up. Mara hitting alert. It's moving up. Potential breakout there, and just consolidating on the roadmap line. We need to break out, make a higher high, and get going. That's BTBT. Looks like it's showing more strength than Mora. That's why I was harping on that for my Crypto Power Plays subscribers and for other VIP members in the background. BTBT had a super strong looking pattern, and that's what it's showing right there. So would I chase it now? No, I'm looking for booking profits, not for getting in a new position. Beto, obviously, it looks like it wants to come down and test that roadmap line. So be careful, keep it in mind. And I'll try to be with you as much as I can in Discord. If you want to come join us in Discord, hit the link in the description. Lots of my members trying to help provide support during my family's tough time here. So, oh yeah, Apple. I remember I said I would look at Apple. We are potentially going to break out here. I don't know what the deal is there. Potential breakout over this resistance. It's not really a big mover today, only up 1%. We've got that resistance, we got that resistance, we got this resistance. Above all that, we can get up to 199, and I'm still holding that target. And then SQQQ. Remember, leverage instruments don't always hit the targets, but 25 was my first target, and 20 for an extension target. Possibly as deep as 17 on the head and shoulders pattern, breaking down here. All right. That's the Amazon chart. Hit that briefly. And yeah, nice little 2% pop. We break out over this high from back here in February. We can get a quick move on up. 140, and that one comes in around 115. So we got some resistance there. Break out over 115. It's not a stretch to get a quick rally up to about this 140, possibly even as high as 160. That could happen end of the summer. All right, that's kind of what I see moving today. That's what we got. I'm gonna try to do 30 minutes of awesome today, since I couldn't do it tomorrow or yesterday. Apologize to everybody. So stay up on the alerts. Make sure you hit the bell. Make sure you're subscribed, and then hit the bell with the notifications so you get notified when I go live. And as always, I'll throw it in Discord before I go live on anything. I'm going to try to do that this evening, but I don't know for sure what the schedule is going to be. So stay tuned. I'll do the best I can. All right. Have a great day, everybody. And I'll see you hopefully later today. If not, maybe tomorrow. Bye for now.